Hello friends, my name is Ambarish and this video series is about Microsoft Excel. Thanks for tuning into the video series first of all, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at the moment. Before we start, let me just give you an introduction about myself. I am Ambarish Tarte from Mumbai. I have been doing Microsoft Office training for 5 years. I am a Microsoft Office specialist, and I was also privileged to be given the Microsoft Certified Trainer credentials in the year 2013. So friends, let me just brief you that I will use Microsoft Office Excel 2016 for the entire demonstration. More or less, the features in all the versions of Excel are same. Obviously, every time Microsoft launches a new version of MS Office, there are some new features and functions added. Yeah. The four commonly used MS Office versions in various organizations and institutions are 2007, 2010, 2013, and 2016. So, like I said earlier, I will use the latest, which is 2016. Okay. Now, let's begin with how to open Excel. We all are aware that Excel is a very widely used application, right from a homemaker to a CEO of an organization would use Excel for routine work. A homemaker could simply list down the household items to be purchased and do the budgeting of the house. Yeah, because after all, a homemaker is the home minister as well. From a corporate point of view, number crunching, analysis of data, calculations are some of the common requirements, and that's when Excel comes handy. Yeah, you could be a frontline receptionist, or you could be owner of the company. You will use Excel for a lot of things. To prepare reports could be another feature of Excel. Okay, so coming back to how to start Excel, you will definitely be aware of the most commonly used methods. The traditional method that a lot of us have been using over the years is you go to the Windows button, Start, and then you go to All Programs, and then Microsoft Office, and then select Excel. The other method could be, I will just demonstrate here. You will perform a right click on an empty space on your desktop. You will go with New, and then you will choose Excel from here. But this doesn't really open up an Excel spreadsheet. It simply creates a desktop icon. So I will have to further double click on this icon to open the Excel spreadsheet. The best method to open Excel is use the Windows and R combination. When you hit the Windows key and the R key simultaneously, you get to the Run window, and here you can type Excel, EXCEL, and simply hit Enter, and that's it, it's done. Your Excel is opening up. Yeah. Okay, so I am into the Excel interface now. What you see on your screen is a file named as Book1. I haven't saved it yet, but the name of the file is Book1, which is appearing right here. I hope the circles, the blinking circles are visible. Okay, so the entire interface is called as your Book1, and what you have at the bottom here are your sheets. They can also be called as tabs. At present, I have just one sheet, but I can obviously click on this plus icon. I can keep on hitting the plus icon to generate multiple sheets. I can have n number of sheets in an Excel file. Yeah, the entire interface is called as the book, or the file, or the workbook, or the document. And then within a file, within a book, you will have multiple sheets. Just like in PowerPoint, you can have multiple slides into a presentation, or in a Word document, you will have multiple pages. Okay. Now I am in one of the sheets of this file. Let's just understand that Excel is a combination of rows and columns. Yeah, what you have in terms of A, B, C. A is here, B, C, D, E, right? What you have in terms of A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on are your columns. they are vertical, and what you have in terms of 1, 2, 3, these are called as your rows. They are horizontal. So Excel Excel spreadsheet is a combination of rows and columns. That's pretty basic. I'm sure everybody is aware of it. And these boxes are called as cells. I'm sure everyone is aware of this as well. I can simply use my mouse to navigate from one cell to another. I can also use my cursor on the keyboard, the cursor arrows, arrow right, arrow down. I can just keep doing down, right? I can go left, I can go on top. Yep, so I can simply navigate within the entire Excel spreadsheet using my mouse as well as my cursor arrows. Okay, now if you wish to select a column, I can obviously use the mouse and click on a column, let's say E, yeah, or let's say G. I can simply select with my mouse, right? Simply just click on K, M, whatever. And similarly, I can click on one of the rows, okay? Yeah, I can simply click with my mouse, right? I can also have multiple columns or rows selected. Like for example, I click on G and then I continue with my selection like this using my mouse, right? I can have multiple columns selected, okay? I can do this row wise as well. I can start off from the row number 4 and then I can keep coming down. I can have multiple rows selected with my mouse. Also, there is a keyboard shortcut. Control spacebar will select your column and shift spacebar will highlight your row. Yeah. Once I hit the control spacebar, I can then do shift and arrow right to select, and I can keep doing shift and arrow right to select multiple columns. Yeah. Similarly, I can have the shift and spacebar together to select one row, and then I can keep going shift and down, 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 down to select multiple rows. Yeah, these boxes are called as cells. Yeah, you know, I'm in the G6 cell right now. I'm in the J3 cell right now. Yeah, okay. All right, now what you see on the top is called as formula bar. So for example, if I have a number, please notice that when I type a number in any one of the Excel cells, it will be automatically aligned towards the right hand side by default. Okay. And if I type a text, let's just type a text. Let's type my name, Ambarish. Okay, so I'll just increase the width of the column here, and see it aligns itself towards the left. Okay, by default, right? Now let's just look into the formula bar. I have a number here. If I select that cell, it shows that number. I have a text here. If I select that cell, it shows that text. Okay. Also, let's just see what other thing the formula bar does for us. If I have a few numbers, okay, and if I have done some operation, let's say I have done summation, I've simply added those numbers. For example, this plus this plus this. I'm simply starting off with an equal to symbol and then selecting those three cells one by one. Of course, there are other methods of doing it, but we are not getting into the summation formula or specific operation right now. This is just to highlight the importance of a formula bar. So I can simply select those three cells one by one, keep giving the addition symbol, yeah, and then if I press enter, I've got the answer as 201. But in the formula bar, you will not really see 201. You will see the cells added. Yeah, the final answer will not be displayed in the formula bar. It will be right here in one of the cells. Yeah, so that's what the formula bar does. Okay, I can also hit this FX. I can simply click on this FX and I can simply open up the insert function window, which we will speak about later. Okay, I'll escape from for now. Right. So yeah, this is the formula bar. Now at the bottom we have a status bar near the battery or the Wi-Fi icon. Obviously, you will not have a battery icon if it's a desktop, but here at the bottom, what you see is called as the status bar. Okay, so if I select these three numbers, yeah, it shows the basic operations here. So average is 67, count is 3, and sum is 201. This is called as your status bar. Okay. Now we spoke about the formula bar, which is here on top. We also spoke about the status bar, which is here. Okay, the entire portion is called as your status bar. Now let's also speak about the name box. Your name box will always highlight the cell where your cursor is kept. So if my cursor is kept on the J9 cell, it will show J9. If I change it to, let's say, C2, it shows C2. If I keep my cursor on the G4, it's going to display G4. Yeah. If I have a couple of cells selected, or maybe even more, yeah, like this, maybe, okay, 2 cells or maybe 3 cells, right? Then it will only display the reference of the first cell, because G7 is my active cell. So where your cursor is kept, it's called as your active cell, and it will always be displayed in the name box. Also, when multiple cells are selected, the name box will display the reference of the first cell, which is your active cell. Okay, so we spoke about the basic interface of Excel. We spoke about the book 1, we spoke about the multiple sheets, we spoke about the status bar, the formula bar, the name box, we spoke about these columns and rows, we spoke about these cells. Yeah. Now, most of you who are watching this video at the moment must have used Excel in your life, right? It could be for a professional reason, could be for a personal reason. We all have used Excel. Some of us have been using Excel at the very basic level, maybe. Some of us at a slightly intermediate level, some of them at an advanced level. But do we all know that Excel has 16,384 columns and 10,48,576 rows, and this can be verified. You can always hit the control and the down arrow, yeah, on the keyboard. I can hit control down, and there you go. The last row is where it takes me. It's 10,48,576. Yeah, simply control down from wherever I can. I can just do this from any cell, right? Similarly, I can also hit control arrow right, and I will be taken to the last column, which is XFD. I hope the blinking circles are visible. I can just zoom in on this last column. Yep. So I can be anywhere on my Excel spreadsheet, any cell, and I can just do control arrow right, and there you go. It takes me to the last column. Yeah. Okay. All right, friends. Let's just go a bit further. Okay. So on the top here, you've got the file tab, the home tab, the insert tab, the draw tab, the page layout, the formulas, data, review. All these are called as tabs. Okay. What you have at the bottom are generally called as sheets, but some people prefer to call them as tabs as well. But for me, I will use the word tab for the home tab, the insert tab, and you have these tabs in your PowerPoint and Word and Outlook as well. Okay. So multiple tabs is what we have. If I click on the formulas tab is when I will be able to access the features under the formulas tab. If I click on the data tab, I will have a different set of features. Okay. So remember, we will always click on a tab. So like right now I'm clicking on the view tab, and you see there are a bunch of features given within the view tab, right? The home tab, okay, the insert tab, right? Now we can always customize this ribbon. This entire top portion is called as a ribbon, wherein you have got those multiple tabs. We can always customize the ribbon, but that's really user specific. Okay, we'll see that in the upcoming video, right? So I think we've discussed basics of Excel in this video so far. Let's just look at more features and functions in Excel in the upcoming videos. So friends, in this video we will talk about some more elementary features of Excel. The Autosum is a very commonly used application, and then we will also see how to customize the ribbon. Okay, we all like customizations in our life, right? In the house as well, we keep our car keys, our wallet, purse, mobile, commonly used things. So every time we go out, we can quickly pick them up from that shelf or from that desk and move out. So we customize the house as well as per our requirement, right? The room color, the curtains, the way we manage our apartment is our own customized fashion. Okay, so similarly, even the Excel or PowerPoint interface can be customized as per the user's requirement. But before that, let's quickly take a look at a very basic operation, the Autosum. Okay, so let's just take an example that I've got these numbers here. Okay, I'm just randomly generating some numbers, and in this cell, which is the G13 cell, I would now like to perform a summation. What most people do is they will go to the home tab, and the Autosum icon is right here on the right hand side, so they can simply click on it, and right there in the cell it shows sum, and all I need to do now is simply hit the enter key. Okay, that's it, I've got the answer. All right, but let's just delete this. The other way of doing this would be I can simply use the shortcut. Okay, alt equal to, I repeat, alt and equal to together. Okay, and that's it, enter, and you've got the answer. Okay, and like I said in the earlier video, the formula bar will show you the sum function. Okay, but in the cell you will have your final answer. Okay, alt equal to is a straightforward direct shortcut for only the summation. Please don't expect the alt equal to perform average or count or any other function. Okay, and if you simply mouse over on the icon within the ribbon in the home tab, okay, if you simply mouse over on the Autosum icon right here, okay, it quickly shows up that the shortcut is alt equal to. Yeah, it says alt plus equal to, but the plus is meant for indicating to the user that the alt and the equal to have to be pressed simultaneously. Yeah, so if you simply mouse over, you will see the shortcut. Not just for the sum formula. Let's take another example. We all know filter is a feature in Excel, right? So if I click on the data tab, and if I simply mouse over on the filter icon, it says Control Shift L. Of course, there are other shortcuts of applying the filter drop downs, but yes, Control Shift L is one of the shortcuts, and that is visible right there. Okay. All right, so we've done the summation. Like the way we've done sum, we can also do average and counting, but the Autosum icon is available in the home tab. If you simply directly use it, it's going to do the sum, but then if you go to the drop down here, you will have the other basic functions of Excel. Okay, but remember, alt equal to is only for sum, it will not do average or counting. Okay. Right, now let's talk about the customization. Let's say I am a person who uses the Autosum very frequently. Okay, let's also say that filter is another feature which is used very frequently. What I can do is I can simply do a right click on Autosum, right, and the very first option is add to quick access toolbar. So I will click on it now. Okay, and you see the Autosum has gone right here. Okay, so we've like customized it and put it into our toolbar, which is right on top of your screen, right? Let's say filter as well. So I go to data, I just do a right click on the filter icon. The very first option is again add to quick access toolbar. I can simply click on it, and there you go. The filter also is added in the toolbar. The benefit of doing this is every time I want to do a filter, I don't really have to change my tab. For example, I could be in the review tab doing something. I could be in the view tab maybe doing something. And then I suddenly realize that I need to do a filter. I don't really have to go to the data tab first and then click on the filter because it's right here now. Yeah. By the way, the filter is a very important feature of Excel, and that's why perhaps Microsoft has given the feature of filter in two tabs. It's available in the data tab right here, okay, and it's also available in the home tab next to sum. It's right here, check it out. Yeah, so the filter is available in the home tab as well as in the data tab. Okay, it's also available upon doing a right click on one of the cells. Yeah, but that we will see when we do the topic of filter. But yeah, it's right here. So effectively, there are three ways of initializing the filter feature. Okay, all right. Now, apart from this simple customization of the toolbar, okay, what I've done is I've just put up a couple of features here. We could also create a new tab. Like for example, I've got the home tab, I've got the insert, the draw, the page layout, right? And I've got these other tabs as well. But I can create a tab with my name and put all the features that are required very frequently in that tab. Let's see how to go about it. Okay, so I click on the file. All right, the first thing is I will click on the file. Okay, then I go to the options. Okay, I click on options. Then the Excel options window comes up in front of me. Okay, now I can simply choose customize ribbon from here. I click on customize ribbon. Okay, now once I click on customize ribbon, it opens up this kind of an interface. Now let's just take an example that I want to create a new tab, and that has to be between the insert and the draw. So I will click on insert first. Of course, I can expand and collapse these tabs from here, but yeah, I can click on insert and then I can click on new tab. I click on new tab. Yep, oops. Now you see by mistake I clicked on the new tab twice, but that's fine, no issues. I can always select the second instance of the new tab, and I can always do a right click and I can remove. Okay, so yeah, I've added a new tab. If I want, I can rename it from here. Okay, or the other option would be, I just escaped, so file options, customize ribbon. I want it between the insert and the draw, so I click on insert, I click on new tab. The other option to rename would be right click and rename. Okay, so I would like to give it a name. I'll give my name Ambarish. All right, and then please remember, every time you have a feature in Excel, it's not directly a part of your tab. Every feature is a part of a group, and then it's a part of a tab. Just like every city in India is a part of a state. Most cities are a part of a state, and then the state is a part of India, the country. Like so, Mumbai is in Maharashtra, and then Maharashtra is in India. So every feature like filter and sum will be a part of some group, and the group will be a part of the tab. So this new group as well, I can keep it the way it is if I want, or I can simply just rename that. So I'll say my group, maybe my group. Okay, and that's it. Now the features will be added to the group, right? So on the left hand side, I've got these popular commands. Of course, I can come to the drop down here and I can make it all commands. Okay, but I can live with the popular commands itself, right? Now I can scroll down and I will see all the features. Okay, so let's take an example here that the sum is a very frequently used feature. So I click on sum and I can say add. So the sum gets added into my group here. Okay, let's just do it for copy. You know, you would like to copy figures from one cell to another, from one sheet to another. So I can say okay, add. Then there is this fill color. You just want to fill some background color to each of your cells. So fill color, I can say add. So I can just keep on adding multiple features from the popular commands window into my new tab. All right, and remember, the features are being added into the group first and then the tab. And that's it. I can simply just say okay. I can click OK from here. The Excel options window has an OK button at the bottom. I can click on that, and that's it. There you go. Between the insert and the draw tab, I've got this tab here now that says Ambarish. And if I click on this Ambarish tab, you see my group is generated here. All right, and within the my group, I've got these three features. Yeah, the three features that I see here are the ones which I added, right? And I can keep on adding more and more stuff. Now let's take an example, friends, that my colleague comes to me and says, hey Ambarish, you know what, I also would like to do the same customization in my Excel, because even these features are useful for me as well, right? So can you help me? Well, yes, of course I can help him. I don't need to simply ask him to go to his desk and do it the way I did right now. Yeah, I can just save his time maybe. It's always good to help your colleagues. So what we can do is your Excel 2010 and above, okay, offers this feature of creating this new tab that we've created, and we can also import or export this tab. So I can go to File, okay, I can go to Options, again I can go to Customize Ribbon, again it's the same path that I followed last time, right? This time I will choose this that says Import Export. Remember last time I was here, I did the new tab, I did the new group, but this time I can choose Import Export because the new group is already created. Now I will choose Export All Customizations because I am the one who's sending it to my colleague or friend. So I will use Export All Customizations. Let's put it on the desktop first, okay? And yep, the name is Excel Customizations. That's fine. I can always change the name if I want, but I will keep it I will keep it to what it shows, Excel Customizations, and yeah, on the desktop I will save. Yeah, I will save, and I can say OK from here. Now when I press Windows D is the shortcut to go to the desktop. Yep, this Excel Customizations is appearing right here. I can simply open up my Outlook or my Gmail, okay, or simply I can use my pen drive memory stick, okay, and I can send this to my colleague. All I need to do is just attach this. Please understand, this is not a .exe file, so the person can't simply receive it and double click on it and say next, 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 and all of that stuff. The person will have to download this file on his desktop or whatever location he prefers, and then once the person receives this email which I will send, he will have to go to his Excel, provided his Excel version is 2010, 13 or 16. He can go to File, he can go to Options, he can go to Customize Ribbon, and last time when we were here we did the export because it was me sending, but now when he receives it he will have to go to Import, and then if the file is saved on his desktop after receiving my email, he can go to desktop like this and simply double click on this Excel Customizations file. That's it. So he also will have a new tab called Ambarish, and he will have these features right here. Yeah. Please note, if he doesn't want to keep the name as Ambarish, perhaps he doesn't like the name Ambarish maybe. Yeah. So if he wants to give his own name, he can always go to Customize Ribbon and he can just do a right click and rename from here. Okay, so this was about customizing the Excel ribbon and the basic Autosum formula. If we wish to remove the customizations, that is restore the defaults, then yes, that is possible. I will have to go to File, I will have to go to Options again, right? And then to customize the ribbon, we had come here, like the name of this option suggests, okay? So yes, we will again come here, and now at the bottom we have this reset, okay? So I can come down to the drop down of reset and say reset all customizations, and that's it. It asks me for a confirmation. I can click on yes and then finally OK, and it's done. So this Ambarish tab is no more appearing. The features which were plugged in here are no more appearing. Okay. Now let's just understand that if you type anything in Excel and if it's a number, it will align on the right, and if it's a text, so let's just type my name again and I will increase the column width, so you know it aligns towards the left. Okay, let's also type alphanumeric, so ABC123, because it is alphanumeric, it will align on the left. Okay, but of course I can go to this alignment group in the home tab and I can decide the alignment, so I don't really have to live with the default settings. I can say center and see the ABC123 moves to center. I can say right, yeah, and it moves to right. Yeah, I can come back and say left. Okay, so it's done, right? Similarly, I can also go to this angling option, I can choose angle counterclockwise, and see, so this is a bit of a formatting just to make your data look slightly different. We can do this, yeah. And then there are some of the other options here, angle clockwise maybe, yep, I can do that, right? Okay, now if I wish to undo the activity which is done recently, I can always press Ctrl Z, yeah. Again I can press Ctrl Z, so it's back to normal. So I can keep hitting Ctrl Z the number of times I wish to come back, right? And of course I can use this color, I can use, this is the option for fill color, so the entire cell background gets colored. And I can use this, I can go to the drop down as well, this is font color, yeah. So I can choose yellow, I can choose green, yeah. Okay, so that's it. So I can just if I wish to highlight something, I can use within the font group itself, I can use bold, yeah. I can use italic, I can use underline. Underline also has another option here, double underline, so I can do that. And of course if I do not want, I can do a Ctrl Z, yep. Now there is a specific formatting that I've given to this cell, which is I7, and let's take an example that I want the same formatting for let's say L5. So I can select this I7 first, I can click on the format painter, and I can just go to L5 and paste it. So next time if I type something here, it takes up the same green, it takes up the underline as well, yeah. Friends, when you type something in Excel and you press enter, so let's say I type something, and if I press enter, I am automatically moved one cell down. Similarly, if I type something and if I press tab is just above the caps lock on the keyboard, right? So if I press tab, I will move one step towards my right. But if I do not wish this to happen, neither the down nor the right, what I can do is I can just type something, all right, and I can simply press Control Enter. Yeah, so Control Enter will enable me to stay in the same cell. Okay, let's just increase the height of this row. I can just pull it down a bit, right? Now if I want to type something, let's say India is my country. Okay, let's just get the spelling right, Country, all right. And if I want to type also another sentence, I love my country, okay, I can hit enter and see it's scattered. Now if I wish to separate these two sentences one below the other in same cell, that is this I13 cell, this cell, what I can do is I can press F2. F2 is to edit or change the contents of a cell. Right now the cursor has automatically moved towards the end, right? But I can use my arrow left a few times. I can use my arrow left a few times, and now that I'm just before I, okay, I can now press Alt Enter, Alt Enter, yeah, Alt and Enter together, and see it moves a level down, but it remains in the same cell. So finally, when I press Enter or maybe Control Enter, okay, we will notice that it's in the same cell. So Alt Enter is a very simple shortcut which can be used to stay in the same cell. Okay, right. Now we will also just look at a navigation between sheets. So let me just add another sheet here. Let me add another sheet here. And okay, so I am in the sheet number 1 at the moment. Of course, I can use my mouse and click on sheet number 2, right? But yeah, I can use my mouse and click on sheet number 3, sheet number 4, whichever sheet I wish to go to. All right. However, there is a shortcut as well, which is Control and page down. Yeah. So see, I've moved from sheet number 1 to sheet number 2. Yeah. Control page down again will move me further to sheet number 3. Control page down again will keep moving me one step to the one sheet to the right. Okay, and if I press Control page up, it is the opposite. I will move one step on my left, so I'll move to the earlier sheet. Yeah, Control page up again, Control page up again, right? So I can keep navigating between two sheets of the same file if they are adjacent by the control page down and the control page up. Right? Now, if you wish to directly go from sheet number 1 to sheet number 4, we can use the name box. Of course, there are other methods as well, but if you know the spelling of the name of the sheet, we can go to the name box and use the name box for navigating to a specific sheet if we know the exact spelling of the sheet, right? But let's just look at a basic use of the name box first. Before using it for sheet navigation, what we can also do is we can use the name box to move from one cell to another in the same sheet. So right now let me do a control home, so which means I am on my A1 cell. Control and home is taking me to my A1 cell. From the A1 cell, let's take an example. If I want to go to this cell which says Ambarish, which is I5, I can directly come here in the name box. Okay, remember we spoke in one of the earlier videos that the name box will show you the reference of the active cell, the cell in which you are at the moment. Yeah, that's A1 in this case. Yeah, and I would like to move to I5. So I will come here, I will type I5. Remember, this I can be lowercase and then 5, or this I could be uppercase and then 5. Excel is not at all case sensitive. There is one exceptional function, but apart from that, Excel is not case sensitive. So the I can be uppercase or lowercase. So I type I5 and that's it. I will press enter and there you go. I have automatically navigated to that cell. Right? Let's do this again from the I5. Let's say I wish to now go to whatever M19 for example. So I can come to the name box again, M19, enter, and see I have reached this cell which is M19. Right? So I can use the name box to navigate from one cell to another. We will always type the column reference first and then the row reference. Like M19 is the right method and not 19M. Okay. Now let's also see how this name box can be used for sheet navigation. One method is the mouse method. Simply click on the name of the sheet that you wish to go to. The other method is control page down and control page up. Let's look at the name box method now. So I am on my sheet number 1, which is evident from the screen. I can go into the name box. Let's take an example. I would like to navigate to sheet number 4. So I can type sheet 4. Remember, the name of the sheet has to be typed exactly the way it is. I mean, if one of the sheet's names is Mumbai and if we type Bombay here, it's not going to work, right? So spellings are very important in Excel. Let me just make a statement again. I did mention that Excel is not case sensitive, but I do also like to mention here that Excel is spelling sensitive. Okay, so yeah, sheet number 4 is what I will type, and I will now give an exclamation mark. Exclamation mark is to be put as a differentiator between the sheet name and the cell reference. So we will press the shift and the 1 key, to press the exclamation mark, and that's it. Let's take an example. I would like to navigate to A1 cell of the sheet 4. So I put A1 there, just like I typed I5 or M19 in the earlier example. So sheet 4, exclamation mark, A1, enter, and that's it. You can see that I've moved to my sheet number 4, and I'm also in my A1 cell of that sheet. So we've used name box to also navigate from one sheet to another. In your Excel interface, you also have these arrows here. At present, you will see that the arrows are not dark, but I can always do a right click on any one of the arrows. In Excel 2007, you had, even in Excel 2010, you had 4 arrows here. Now in the Excel 13 and 16, they've just reduced the number of arrows to just 2. But irrespective of the version, I can simply come here on one of the arrows, any one of the arrows, absolutely any one of the arrows, and I can do a right click, yeah, and see it opens up a window which gives me the list of sheet names. Okay, and I can then use my arrow up, arrow down, or my mouse to navigate to my any of the sheet that I want. Okay, in one of the earlier versions of Excel, upon doing a right click here, you will only see the names of your first 15 sheets, and it'll also come up with more sheets if the number of sheets in the file are more than 15. But in Excel 13 and 16, the moment you do a right click on one of the arrows, you do get this window directly, and the name of the window is Activate. Okay, let's just escape from here. Okay, all right. So we've used the name box, we've seen the alignment, we've seen the formatting like the bold, italic. Multiple options are given in the home tab within the font as well as the alignment group. Yeah. Also, if you wish to format the cell as per your specific requirement, what we can also do is, let me just come back to my sheet number 1. So let's use the name box method again. Of course, any method can be used depending on the user's choice, but let's go with the name box method. So sheet 1, exclamation mark, A1, enter. All right. So let's just say that I would like to format this cell, which is this 56, in a different manner. So in the number group in the home tab, I've got this symbol of percentage. So see, it comes up with the percentage symbol. Okay, I can always do a Control Z if I do not like it. I can also go to the format tab here, okay, and I can choose the option that says format cells. Yeah, I can come here in the format feature within the home tab and click on format cells. So it comes up with a window that is called format cells, and from here I can decide whether to keep it in general format or number format. If I choose the number format, it also lets me decide how many decimal places would I like to keep. Currency I can choose from here, so it takes up the dollar here. I can go to the drop down and I can choose some of the other currencies from here. Okay, okay, let me cancel this. The other method of coming to the format is, apart from the ribbon method, I can always do a right click on that cell. When I do a right click, I have the format cells option here as well. It's the same window that will open up. Yeah, okay, that's another method to do the formatting of your cells. Okay, format cells window also has a few tabs. The number tab is the one that I'm on right now, but alignment is here. Yeah, we spoke about left alignment, right alignment earlier. That's the same thing here. So the font option here is also available here, the font type and the font size, right? Then there is border, there is fill. I can choose various colors from here, and protection as well. Okay, the third method is the shortcut method to come to format cells, and that is simple Control and the numeric 1 key. That's it, Control and 1. Yeah, it's the same format cells window. Okay, so now let's just talk about the merging. So let's just take an example that I have this data here. Let's just type the name of the state, let's say Maharashtra. Okay, now down below I have this data which is for Mumbai, then there is this data for Pune, and let's say there is another column for Nagpur. Okay, now you can see that the cell A1 occupies Maharashtra occupies cell A1, but what I want to do here is I want to extend Maharashtra in such a way that it is evident for the recipient of this file to figure out that Maharashtra is a common header for Mumbai, Pune and Nagpur. What I can do is I can come here and I can choose the option that says merge and center. I will select the 3 cells including A1. How do I select those cells? I will first come to A1, shift arrow right, okay, or else I can also use the mouse. I can just come to A1 first, and then I can just drag it. Not really drag, I'm just selecting. It's not really a drag. I'm just selecting the remaining the other 2 cells, the adjacent two cells. Yep, so I can come here and say merge and center, right? And there you go. See, now anyone who comes to this sheet will be able to figure out that Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, they all belong to Maharashtra. Yeah, I can do the merge. Also, there is this wrap text option. Okay, I can just if something is very long, like the way we did here, I can use the wrap text. Okay, let's just do a wrap text here, but then this Maharashtra is not a long statement like it was here, so obviously it will have no effect. But the gray color on the background of wrap text tells us that the wrap text feature is applied here. Okay, if I do not want, I can put it off. I can simply come back here and say, okay, I do not want wrap text, so click again, and that's it. I can also move out of the cell. Okay, all right, so we've seen some basic formatting in this video, and in the upcoming videos we will see more features and functions of Excel.